Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience being an online student, specifically at Southern New Hampshire University. So I wrote down a huge thing of notes because this is the second time I'm filming this video. I just felt like the first video got way out of whack and wasn't in any specific order, and I just flew all over the place, and I wanted this video to be much neater and go in some sort of order. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my experience at Southern New Hampshire. So I just started my second year, and I am going for my double bachelor's. I'm going for my bachelor's in fashion merchandising management and my bachelor's in business studies and marketing. I just recently made the president's list, so I was pretty proud of myself for that. And this term is a bit different for me because the school used to use Blackboard, and they just recently switched over to this new learning program called Brightspace. And I don't really like it as much, or maybe I'm just not used to it, but I wish they would go back to Blackboard. Okay, so about the school, the terms are 8 weeks long, and sometimes you don't get breaks in between terms ending. So a term could end on a Sunday, and then you would start your next term on that following Monday. There's 6 terms per year. You don't get like any sort of summer break or holidays off or anything like that. Tuition for regular undergraduate students is $960. Tuition for active duty soldiers and their spouses is $675. And you can take up to 2 courses. 1 course is considered part-time and 2 courses is considered full-time, but you can't take more than 2 courses. So for me, I get the active duty and spouse tuition because my husband is active duty, so I only have to pay $675 per course, but I take 2 courses each term, so that's $1,350. And then with my financial aid and all of that, the school gives me a $400 voucher, so it's roughly almost $1,800 for me to go to term each year, which if you think about it, for an actual in-person university, it is a lot more than that. So that's another reason why I really like online school. The reason why I chose online school rather than just any other school is, like I mentioned, my husband is active duty, so we're going to be constantly moving. Like we're about to move in April. So instead of going to a school in person and then transferring schools and hoping that some of my credits transfer, I just do online school because I can just take it with me wherever. If we go home on leave, I can bring my computer with me, do homework there. If I'm at the airport on an airplane, I can do homework there. It's just really convenient for me, and that's just why I like it a lot. Okay, so for me, the FAFSA and notarization process of online school was a bit difficult. For one, just because when I was in community college, I've never done financial aid before, and so when I do online school, I'm living 3,000 miles away from my mom and my husband, who has never done any form of college because he joined the military right after high school. He wasn't able to help me very much, but it was a fairly easy process. And then I don't know if it's any other university or if it's just Southern New Hampshire, but they want your tax forms from 2 years back rather than just 1 year back. So when I started last year and I filled out the 2017 FAFSA form, or 2016-2017 FAFSA form, they wanted my 2015 tax information, which I was a senior in high school. So obviously, being a senior in high school and having only ever worked jobs after school, I got all of my financial aid covered. They didn't ask for my parents' income or anything like that. So that was really nice. So I got my school pretty much paid for. Like, yeah, I have student loans, but like I said, online college being way cheaper than like an in-person college, my student loans don't grow that much, and the interest rate isn't that high either. Notarization process was fairly easy. I mean, it was just a lot of paperwork and a lot of running around trying to get everything done in a timely manner, but they just want notarization paperwork because they want to make sure that you are who you say you are, basically, because they can't see you in person because you're not there to register. So I just went to my bank and then just signed all these papers in front of her, and then she notarized it, and then I just took a picture of it and I sent it to the student finance place. Okay, so online school is definitely not for everyone. It all depends on your learning preferences. So with me, I cannot sit in a classroom and just listen to a lecture for 3 hours. I cannot do that. But with that being said, I am also a very hands-on learner, so online school is different from what I'm used to. But it's also much easier because I can move at my own pace, but I'm also on a schedule, if that makes sense. So like, yeah, there's due dates and stuff, but as long as I meet the due dates, how I do my homework throughout the week, or how I do whatever I need to do throughout the week, is all up to me, which is why I like to have a planner that I enjoy looking at and writing in to keep me organized, to help me do better in school. So with classes, if a student is struggling, because I have struggled, I took statistics. That class killed me slowly, but I got through it. The school offers online seminars, online tutoring, and writing centers as well. So with seminars, it's basically your professor or a professor that teaches that same subject goes live, and then the students are able to watch and then write comments. So basically just like a Facebook Live or any other live, in that aspect is pretty much the same. And then the teacher can see what the student writes and then responds to any questions or concerns that a student has, which I really like. I find those very, very helpful. The online tutoring I've never used, but I have looked over it, and it's basically available to you 24/7. And you just find your subject, and then someone just helps you. I don't know. I'm not really much help with that because, like I said, I haven't used it. When I was struggling in statistics, my neighbor actually came over and she sat down with me and we did it that way, because if I'm struggling with that, then I needed tutoring in person. So that was my only concern with that. And then the writing center is just like, if you have a paper due, just write your paper up, submit your paper and the rubric to the writing center, and then they get back to you, and then you make changes to it or whatever. So if you do that, you just want to make sure that you have enough time to get your paper written and then submit it, give them time to review it, and then get back to you to fix it before Sunday. So before I continue, let me talk about like assignments and due dates. So each week you're given assignments of like the readings. You could be given 1 chapter to read, you could be given 2 chapters to read, you could be given sections of chapters that you need to read. And then you have a discussion post, which either follows the reading or an article that you had to read or video that you had to watch. And you have to put your initial discussion post by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. And then Monday through Sunday is how they do it. So if you get your discussion post, your initial discussion post in by Thursday at 11:59 p.m., then you're good. You made it on time. Then you have your 2 discussion responses. Usually it's 2. Some teachers want 3, but the majority of the time it's 2. So you have your 2 discussion responses to your peers due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And because I go to Southern New Hampshire, the school is obviously in New Hampshire, so they're on Eastern Standard Time, so then that would be the time that you had to follow. But every school is different with that. Okay, and then on top of the discussion posts, you may also have a worksheet or a milestone to a final or whatever else due. Okay, so when you're purchasing your books, I 100% recommend purchasing your books through the campus bookstore, because being an online student, sometimes your books may have quizzes or some sort of something that you need to fill out. For example, my first class that I took ever, I took an organizational leadership class, and that book, while I was reading it, there would be like chapter quizzes or something. So like what you just read in the chapter, then you'd be quizzed on it. But you take the quiz in the book. So then your teacher would see what you got. So if you were to purchase your book off of Amazon or whatever, you wouldn't be able to participate in the quizzes, and you would just get zeros every week because your teacher cannot see what you're doing. Now I'm going to talk about motivation. So how do I motivate myself to get up and start school? Well, pretty much how I stay motivated to wake up every morning and do school is just thinking about my future and the future that I want for the family that I'm going to have one day. So my husband wakes up every morning and goes to work and does a hands-on, physically exhausting job every day while I stay home, cook, clean, whatever, and do school. So basically how I stay motivated is just thinking about how, like, yeah, I'm doing school now and my husband's being the breadwinner, but in the future I want to become a millionaire and have like the super nice car, super nice house, all that, and then be able to provide for my husband when he wants to retire when he's 38 or earlier, I don't know. So I just stay motivated by thinking about how I want a really nice job and all that. Plus, I made the president's list last term, and my motivation to that is that I want to be on the president's list every term. I mean, nothing's stopping me, even the dean's list. Like, the only thing holding me back from being on the dean's list or the president's list is myself. And that's why motivation is a huge thing for me, because I like to have everything for school. Like, my husband thinks I have all this extra unneeded stuff for school, which, yeah, I probably do, but a planner is a huge one. Like, if someone says, how do you get motivation? A planner. So having a planner that I think is cute and has a lot of different things inside, like this planner has, first it shows the whole month on this page, and then the next page it breaks it down and has the week on the pages, which I really like. And then on the side of that, it has like priorities for the week. If you get bored, doodle it out. Small victories, what's important that I need to do next week, what's important that I need to do this week, like what's a top priority and stuff like that. That stuff just really keeps me motivated to fill it out and do it, as well as having cute notebooks and lots of different colored markers, highlighters, and pens to write with. I think that's a huge one as well. As far as motivation goes, it's really just what your schedule is. So like, write it out. So like, I'll read to you what my planner for this week was. So on Monday, I wanted to start reading chapter 4 for one of my classes, and then start reading chapter 13 for my other class. On Tuesday, I wanted to continue reading chapter 4 for one class, finish reading chapter 13 for my other class. And then on Wednesday, I wanted to do the initial discussion post, and then today is Thursday, so I watched videos that I needed to watch and read an article that I needed to read. Tomorrow, I'm going to finish the worksheet, do the milestone, all that. And I try to be done with my work on Friday, because like I said, it's Monday through Sunday, but I like to do homework from Monday through Friday. I don't really like to do homework on the weekends because my husband is home and I want to hang out with him. But this Sunday, he's going to be in a concealed carry class from 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. So if I don't get the work done that I wanted to do on Friday, I can do it on Sunday as well, because he's going to be gone. So, I mean, that's just how I basically plan it like that. Like, if I get my homework done I can film a video. If I get my homework done, then I can hang out with my husband this weekend. That's basically how I look at it. Yeah, it's fairly easy to stay motivated, especially for me, because when I first started, I was really motivated because, oh, I'm excited, I'm finally gonna be getting my degree and all this. And then towards the end of the year last year, I was just like, oh, I just want to be done with school. I don't have motivation to do this anymore. But then I had a 2.5 week break from Christmas till the next term started. So then I got my motivation back, like, oh, I'm just starting my second year. I'm excited to get started. I mean, now it's the 3rd week of my second year and I'm already ready to be done. But when I start next week, I'll be halfway done with the term, and then I'll be ready to start the next class. So I mean, it's really all just based on how you look at it. There's different techniques for being motivated, but ultimately it's all up to you. You get out of bed in the morning and you sit at your desk and do classes. Like, that is how I look at it. So yeah, that is my motivation, and that was my experience at Southern New Hampshire University. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on your post notifications so you can get notified when I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye!